kila Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam amuru da bida fara duna jahannam imo furo nyoy jahannam ko amuru da ni kuma ko Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala moy akabe ko ya waylata laytani lama taqdu fulana qalila laqad adallani an dhikr dan nim sofa na kataro frendi nani mo kuru mu na ngakan tero da ayin filindi na kando so don kola tra ayin filindi bulu kon non kada kona ayaki na fale bola kide ma sibo ke da foka pare halaka da foka pare ito janda ba ko ni ndo je defina je kolege badi muslimu do alinga hakilo do wakawondo o be ke no wote banda bawo bi saya naka kuma bandale saya da mu kawondo le badi muslimu ba saya man tele bonni noto wannan kawan lalu mbe mun kala sai ani akara ngadiamu mole salo kunyala ngadiamu mole sana kunyala bari kome do kaburo kal memfo wala ka ay jahannabo ni aljanno amma mol boni men kafo ika moyle bari waso alinga katanga sekondo yala ko fatazawwa kila sala ko fatazawwadu fa inna khayra zadi taqwa sala no ngani na kende ma alga sala fa kendo ni lo me yi asbata la be benna lunjima wala ma alkiyama luti la connection yomle ibe si ko konna ibo yebida ngani bo dingira jama ko me bi jama no mendo ni momo fara dia fara fande muni asabu ni fara bi wuro kuma de wuro mi ngako wuro nyaadi lem wo wuro ni kebela wurita ibadara tanko ni kondola wuro nyu wo maka wurti mi ya lonko amanga barafa wurti bawo to minna me kana fura wali ka fugo ali kumbo kuma si budu nanyo le ko e kabula nyondo manina re mina fula biado sanko da ko alinga kumbo kumfura bula kumbo kuma si ibe wunyo sida kumbo ko no na de ka hanni ma fo kumbo la nindaro baade do adon fura je tabiri baale kita ni de ifa mara subo do wala anin tulo do amoy fatoro ni mo fara do subo do wala be tulo do wala li o do morin ko la fana do akendo mo ya so na bin la fura kila ko nim fura o faata muslimu tanalo de salta mo fura ka fu alama o fura ka du aljanna mi ala ko dai ko billahi shay'a ibe dun aljanna bi ka mo wuri kilin mo million la ko lo fura o ma e ka fura na ka mo la fekko ni makara fen fo mo dan tan to menen kal mamol ni ka fura wasalula nse ndena karamol ni ka fura wasalula muna mesala ni fura mo nyaade o tumo ma ni ka wato ne men fara di fane ni ata ya cika ya samba ba tarari kai bu sadar ko fosin da ko nya suko ya cika ba samba la kaburo to mol ba walin kam ni mol fura kaburo don te lo sila karalla malo jemma ko den nyamo kono ndatna nyamo kono mbeden la karalla ndatna duna mun kabala ni mo mi dadu inya bala bidala lo be se biya ifra bakar la jeel ale mo jima yemen dia ala subhanahu wa ta'ala ko kila fa in mitafahum al khalidun kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut إنما توفون وجورهم يوم القيامة فمن زوزع عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة
Good evening, and once again, welcome to this program. I think we've come here in the past weeks, a panel that is brought to you by the Child Protection Alliance that comes to you every other Wednesday. And from today, we will say it's going to be every Wednesday from 7:15 to 7:45. And today in the studio, I'm your host, Bakari Baji, and I have, as part of the panel, Mr. Njundu Drame on my left, the National Coordinator of the Child Protection Alliance, and on my right is Famara Dabo. Famara works for the Child Fund, but he's here in his capacity as the Vice Chairperson of the CPA Board of Directors. Welcome to this 30-minute panel.
Thank you.
Our today's discussion, like we always do, we look at key issues that are affecting children. In general, we call it child protection. And today, we're not looking at one aspect of child protection, but we're looking at something that we can categorize as general, because when we talk about violence against children, we're not only looking at one aspect. We're looking at a lot of things that are affecting children in the Gambia. And we'll also talk about some key advocacy issues that the Child Protection Alliance is working on currently, especially going into 2014. To start with, Mr. Drame, today we're looking at the broader aspect that looks at violence against children. If you're going to help us with to better understand, if we talk about violence and or again, by extension violence against children, what does it mean?
Thank you, Bakari. Violence against children, in summary, would be anything, a harm or potential harm, or injury or potential injury, abuse or potential abuse that is done to a child, that affects the child physically, sexually, emotionally, or psychologically. So that probably, in a nutshell, is one would define as violence against a child. So it's either violence that is done, or it's violence that is threatened.
Okay, but in the Gambia, we have, going by the definition, we look at a lot of things that are affecting children, that is done to them by either their parents or by their teachers or by people who are close to them. What do you think are the key issues, key violent issues that are done to children in their settings, in their homes or in other places, workplaces, and at home as well?
Okay, I guess it's important that we know violence of whatever sort, in whatever degree, small or big, can have a devastating impact on the life of a child. So, and all violence really have adverse effect on a child. But we look at mainly physical abuse, for instance, corporal punishment in schools and homes and in other settings against children. Sexual abuse, like rape, incest, indecent assault against children. And under that category, we would have child sex tourism, or child prostitution, or child pornography, or trafficking of children for sexual purposes. But we also have serious emotional or psychological abuse that children encounter. But all in all, we would, for me, really, if I'm to categorize what I think would be the main issues, main child protection issues, I would say physical abuse of children, sexual abuse, child marriage, FGM against children. For me, these probably would be the main, and child sex tourism would be the main issues that I would consider to be very grave violence against children issues in the Gambia.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Drame. We'll come back. Mr. Dabo, you've been in this field for a number of years now, working with the Child Fund, and prior to that with CPA itself, and now coming back as its board chair, vice chairperson. Now, the issue we're looking at, violence against children, and looking at the school setup, for instance, where we know corporal punishment is still being practiced, and different research have shown that it is in existence, and we know, of course, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education have at one time taken